If you're watching this video right now, something brought you to this page. And because I am a birth trauma or birth injury attorney, more than likely either your baby or a family member or friend, they've had a child that has suffered a traumatic brain injury at birth, namely HIE. And HIE, if you're new to this journey, is hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Then this video is a lot different than what I normally do. In most of my videos, they are specifically talking about educating individuals about this process from a medical legal standpoint and putting this together if a family is looking to take action on the legal route. But I thought that today that I should probably talk a little bit about myself and why me and my law firm, why we do what we do, specifically as Black attorneys too. Well, one of the main reasons for us doing this is to educate. You will be surprised how many people reach out to us. They don't even know this area of law exists, or they don't even know that there are people that you can talk to when you have questions as to what happened to your baby. For a lot of families and a lot of parents, they just have to take what the doctors and the nurses tell them, and that's it. They don't even know that there's other things that you can do or other people that you can talk to about questions. And that is our primary focus, is to help educate. If you're on my page, you can scroll through the many videos that I have educating the public, Black people, white people, Hispanic, whoever, educating individuals about these critical issues that stem from a baby suffering a traumatic brain injury at birth. The second point that I want to talk to you about, and it really deals with what we as attorneys, what we see when it comes to families. A lot of times these injuries are just devastating. I'm gonna be just blunt. They're devastating. And we are in unique positions as attorneys because we're able to see how this injury has not only impacted the child, but how it impacts families. Families are under a lot of stress, a lot of strain when a baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury. And this is because the world that they once knew, it gets turned upside down for a lot of people because their routine is changed. Having a child is already going to just change your routine anyway. But when we're talking about a baby that has special needs like this, and especially if the injury is a serious HIE injury in the sense of it's categorized as severe, then there are a lot of things that are going to take place, from the doctor's appointments to the therapies to just everything that goes along with it. And so that's the second thing, is with these types of injuries, what we see. And finally, why I'm talking about this is because resources. Number 3, it's resources. And that resources aspect really bleeds into the second point that I made too, because a lot of times these families need resources. And it's only fair if the doctors and the nurses in the hospital, that if they are responsible for your child's HIE injury, it's only fair that they need to step up and make things right financially. A baby that has suffered a traumatic brain injury, depending on, like I said, the severity, over the course of that child's life, their needs financially can reach into the millions. And for a lot of families, they just do not have that. And when you don't have access to the resources, again, it becomes a circle. It just strains the family and the relationships, and it just makes it extremely hard. So that is why, here at Boston Law Group, LLC, that is why we are so adamant about these cases, and we do the absolute best that we can for these, not only for the children, but for the families that are also involved, because we understand that when a baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury, and that brain injury is due to essentially malpractice, medical malpractice, the negligence, the doctors, the nurses, the hospital. We understand what that looks like. We understand the toll that it can have on a family. And again, that's why we work to do the absolute best that we can when an individual or family calls us and asks for a birth injury investigation to get this process moving. If you have more questions, maybe you're here watching this video today because, again, your baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury, or a friend of yours that you know the baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury, you're sharing this video. If you have that going on, what I invite you to do is go ahead and pick up the phone and call me. There's a telephone number on the screen down below. It costs you absolutely nothing initially to go ahead and pick up the phone and talk with us about what's going on with your baby. Be sure that when you call my office and you talk to my secretary, be sure that you leave a date and a time for us to be able to call you. That's important, a date and a time, so we'll know when to actually reach back out and contact you. One more thing also before I get out of here, I want to make sure that you understand that I practice law here in the state of Maryland, and from time to time we'll have people who will contact us. They're not in Maryland, they're in the United States, but they're not in Maryland. And I just got to make sure that you understand, if you contact us and you're not in Maryland, that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can work to help you on, but I just want to make sure that you understand that co-counsel or that local counsel aspect of things. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. We'll talk with you next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.